Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning into The Wine Rookie. This is a channel where we open up bottles of wine and we discuss them. We talk about all the complexities that go into the wine, as well as the information about the appellations that they're grown in. If you're new to wine, this is a great way, if you're a wine rookie like myself, to learn more about regions and expand your knowledge, as well as your palate. So if you're here for the knowledge, hit that like and subscribe button. Or if you're just here for a review before you open up your next bottle of wine, hit the like and subscribe button. But now let's get into the details. So on today's episode, I've got a Chardonnay for us. This is from Mer Soleil in the Santa Lucia Highlands. They're up near Monterey County. And this is their 2021 vintage oaked Chardonnay. And what's cool about the Santa Lucia Highlands is because it's Monterey County, they've got the bay to the west of them that gets in this nice coastal breeze that keeps the growing season longer. That's going to add extra complexity to the wines, as well as increase the intensity of aromas and flavors, hopefully, within the Chardonnay. So Mer Soleil is a label of wine that is owned by a pretty big family of wines. This is the Wagner family of wines. So they own Caymus. If you're not familiar with them, they're up in Napa Valley, Caymus Vineyards, and they produce some high quality Cabernets and other wines up there. But Cabernets, I think they're most sought after and what they're most well known for. So what I like about this one from the Wagner family is a very approachable price. This is around $20. I've seen it as high as $30, but I found it for $20. And they also do an unoaked Chardonnay, which is quite amazing if you don't prefer that oaky, creamy, buttery that you get from the oaked ones. And they do a Pinot Noir as well, which they should, because where Chardonnay grows, Pinot Noir usually grows just as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this. But first, B-roll. All right, everybody, thanks for your patience during all those sexy wine B-rolls. But we're back with our Chardonnay poured out, and we're about to take a closer look. First things first, as wine rookies, we want to look at the colors and visual aspects of a wine. Just more familiarize yourself with all the aspects. So you can kind of, if you're ever doing blind tastings, start to gather clues through what you're looking at. Typically on oak Chardonnays, we would see more of, you can see from pale to deep gold. This is pale, almost invisible in my glass gold, but absolutely brilliant color. And through assessment of other visual cues, I can tell you probably going to be a drier wine based on the viscosity. It's very thin, it's water thin, even a little less so in the glass. Given the fact that it's 14.5% alcohol, you'd expect, if you saw any wine tiers, to have some thicker wine tiers. But the actual viscosity of this wine is a little thinner, so leaning probably towards the drier side. So those are all of our visual aspects that we're going to assess. Now we're going to take a closer look at aromas. And we do that by swirling the wine in our glass. So that's going to start to coat the wine glass in alcohol. And that evaporates, and we assess those aroma compounds as the bouquet or the nose. Guys, this has a very fruity aromas to it, and a little funk there as well, which is kind of typical in Chardonnays, I think. But starting with those fruit notes, I get tree fruits. So first thing first, Shingo pear. So think about those giant Asian pears you see at the grocery store. Some of them, they can be small, but I've seen them literally the size of my head. So these giant Asian pears, that's what I smell first. And then yellow apple, which is typical of a cooler climate region in California. So I get a tiny bit of pineapple in there as well. but mostly yellow apple and shingo pear for the fruity notes, and a tiny bit of lemon zest. I'm also getting, like I said, there's the funk, and for me, it's reminiscent of like milk bread. So if you've ever had, like on Thanksgiving, you get those those gold Hawaiian rolls. That's kind of what I'm getting here. That little bready kind of notes there, and maybe some white flowers. So that's the aromas I'm getting here. Now we're going to taste it. We're going to assess all those qualities of the wine and see if it's worth the $20 we paid for it. So here we go. Wow, guys. So very acidic, medium plus acidity. Body's a little lower here, even though 14.5% alcohol generally boosts that up a bit. And I know typically in California, you can get some fuller bodied Chardonnays. This one's, I'm going like medium minus on the body here. Not so full. What wasn't reflected on the nose here was the amount of oak that was in this wine that you get on the palate. It's this rich creaminess, almost like some baking spices and some toasted oak qualities there. Not surprised. 11 months in an oak, I think French oak barrels for this one, that we're seeing those notes there. Very delicious. What's also reflected a little bit of the pear, but I get more apricot notes here from stone fruits. And it's creamy, and that creaminess and the lemon kind of giving me like lemon curd vibes here. Or even like the lemon squares, like the dessert lemon squares. Gosh, I haven't had those in years, but kind of like with the little bready layer on the bottom with the creamy lemon top vibes. So very delicious. Definitely, I'm still, as I'm breathing it in and out, like tasting this wine. So when we talk about a long finish in a wine, you can have a short finish. Generally, lower quality wines disappear on the palate and disappear from your senses. This one still hasn't. I took a sip, like a minute ago, and I'm still tasting it. Still get those oakiness, the lemon lime, lemon citrus kind of notes from this, even a full minute after trying it. So longer finished Chardonnay, medium plus acidity, medium minus on the body, dry. This is a dry Chardonnay. Very delicious and definitely worth the $20. I will be personally adding it to my future summer wine drinking lists, and maybe even looking towards Thanksgiving time for a white offering, just because I think it'll pair well. Like I said, it's got that kind of Hawaiian gold sweet rolls kind of notes to it, which I think will pair well with Thanksgiving. So that being said, for right now, pair it with some grilled fish. If you don't eat fish, you can actually shred up oyster mushrooms. If you've ever seen king oyster mushrooms, just shred them up. Do that, kind of make it into like a fish fillet thing, grill that, so you get some texture of that. And then on a cheese board, do brie cheese and pair that with some slices of pear. Pair it with pear. My personal favorites are Boscs and Alexander Lucas pears. If you can find those are absolutely delicious, and I think will go great with the cheese and the wine. If you liked the video and you got any knowledge, either from you learn more about the Santa Lucia Highlands, you learn more about oak Chardonnays, hit that like and subscribe button. If you didn't learn anything, but you still liked watching the video, hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, guys, we will see you for another wine rookie tasting. Cheers.